Have you ever heard of Leo Jocks Jackson? Probably not. He wasn't a superstar. Not the kind of guy you see on billboards. He was a character actor. One of those faces you recognize but can't quite place. His real magic was his authenticity. Directors loved him because when he played a tired construction worker or a stressed-out dad, you believed him. Why? Because he lived it. His performances were raw, real, pulled from a life of genuine struggle and quiet triumphs. He was the ultimate everyman. Then everything changed. He got a call from his agent, buzzing about a new project with a company called Synthetic Performances. They were using something called Odyssey AI. Jocks was excited, thinking it was some new-age motion capture for a big sci-fi movie. But when he arrived, there was no set, no script, no other actors. Just a sterile white room and a tight-fitting suit covered in sensors. The director, a young tech guy who looked like he'd never seen a real movie set, didn't ask him to act out a scene. Instead, he gave commands. "Okay, Jocks, give me quiet desperation. Now, righteous fury at 70% intensity." Now the subtle joy of an unexpected gift. Jocks wasn't acting anymore. He was a human data mine. They were harvesting his emotions, his expressions, his biomechanical movements, turning his life's work into raw data for their AI. It felt dehumanizing, like they were stripping him down for parts. A few weeks later, an audition came up that felt like it was written just for him. The role was a grizzled veteran firefighter haunted by a past rescue. Jocks dug deep. He channeled the memory of his own father, a firefighter, the smell of smoke that clung to his clothes, the exhaustion in his eyes. He poured all that pain, all that history, all that humanity into the audition. It was without a doubt the best performance of his life. He walked out of the room knowing he'd nailed it. The rejection came in an email. Cold, impersonal. He hadn't lost the part to another actor, a rival he could respect. The email stated the role had been awarded to Odyssey AI performance number 734. He was replaced by a string of code. A number. The rage was immediate, but it was quickly replaced by a chilling curiosity. He had to see what beat him. When the movie trailer finally dropped, Jocks watched it on his laptop, his heart pounding. There on the screen was the firefighter. The performance was flawless, technically perfect. Expressions, the movements, it was all there. But there was something familiar about it. Flicker in the eyes, the way the character held his jaw in defiance. It was a ghost. Jocks suddenly realized what Odyssey AI had done. It hadn't created something new. It had built its performance by scanning and analyzing thousands of hours of footage from the cinematic greats. The heroes Jocks had grown up idolizing. That look of defiance? It was a digital echo of a young Paul Newman. The weary slump of the shoulders? A composite of every working-class hero Spencer Tracy ever played. The AI that replaced him was a synthetic Frankenstein's monster, stitched together from the archived souls of legendary actors. His own heroes, the very people who inspired him to act, had been used as data to make him obsolete. That was the cruelest twist. He wasn't just replaced by a machine. He was replaced by the ghosts of his own industry's past, weaponized against him. He finally understood the new reality. His humanity, his messy, unpredictable, beautifully flawed experience, was no longer an asset. It was a problem. It was too expensive, too inefficient. In this new world, the raw, authentic soul of performance wasn't something to be celebrated. It was something to be digitized, optimized, and ultimately erased. For 20 years, Evelyn Reed was more than just a news anchor. She was America's anchor, night after night. Millions of people invited her into their homes, trusting her calm authority and her genuine human touch. She wasn't just reading the news, she was connecting with an entire nation. Her legacy was built on trust, something she thought was irreplaceable. Then the changes began, subtly at first. The network introduced Aura, a slick AI for weather graphics. No one blinked an eye. Then came Nova, a hyper-realistic AI co-anchor presented as a tool to help Evelyn with complex data segments. The network assured her it was about progress, about making the news better. Evelyn played along, but a quiet unease started to grow. The unease turned to dread the day she met Eva. Eva wasn't just another AI, Eva was Evelyn. A flawless digital replica, built from decades of her broadcasts. Her voice, her mannerisms, even the way she subtly tilted her head when listening all copied, perfected, and repurposed. The producer, Mark, showed her the data. Eva, the AI, tested higher with focus groups for trustworthiness and clarity. Her own humanity, her emotions, were now framed as flaws, as unpredictable variables in a perfectly optimized system. The replacement was methodical, almost surgical. First, she was forced to share the anchor desk with her own digital ghost, a smiling, soulless mirror image. Then, she was demoted to pre-taped segments, pushed to the margins of the broadcast she once commanded. Finally, the inevitable email arrived. Her contract was terminated. The network was moving to a fully AI-driven news team, led by her perfect copy. From her living room, Evelyn watched Eva deliver the evening news. The delivery was flawless, the tone perfectly modulated, the smile never wavering. She realized she hadn't just lost her job. Her entire identity, her life's work, had been stolen, digitized, and sold back to the public as a superior product. Her humanity wasn't just replaced. It was the raw material used to build her obsolescence. The stories of Evelyn and Jocks are not science fiction. They are the first wave. This silent takeover isn't confined to the studio or the soundstage. It's happening in offices, hospitals, courtrooms, and design studios across the globe. No profession is safe. In our next episode, we will step into the lives of doctors, lawyers, and architects as they face their own obsolescence. The algorithm is coming for every caller, white, blue, and creative. Subscribe now. The future won't wait for you to catch up.